Let's do all the drugs.
Saying terrible things is bad. So if you said something terrible, then that's something you should confront.
This is my cat's birthday today.
I don't see a cat in here. I'm sorry.
So let's do this. You know, you guys are hired. You're in, you know, unless you're like the weirdest guys ever and I don't see it.
Great.
Are you Jewish?
I don't know.
The economy right now is broken, and communism would fix that because something cannot be broken if it doesn't exist.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and we all know that Seth Rogen is an unhinged lunatic with very little ability to understand nuance. But hey, he was funny in that one movie 15 years ago, I suppose, and so he remains relevant. Well, last night I saw a tweet thread of just how insane and depraved Seth Rogen is on Twitter, and it kind of went viral. It was pretty hilarious to behold all of the insane things that Seth Rogen has done on Twitter, whether it's pushing around a kid, having unhinged rants at, I don't know, people like J.K. Rowling and politicians. I thought it was just a nice retrospective of just how much of a lunatic Seth Rogen is. Now, if you remember, Seth Rogen took a major L when it came to Santa Inc. Now, he is involved in some other critically acclaimed shows. I guess The Boys he's involved with at some level. I don't watch that show, but I think a lot of people probably do. Most people generally say it's decent, I guess. I don't know. So not everything he's done has been a flop, but most of the movies he's put out in the last 10 years have all been hilariously terrible. If you look at Seth's career, not great. Chronologically, if we look at, he was a producer on Console Wars, not really worth talking about there. An American Pickle got a 44% with audience. He was in Zeroville, 38% audience score, 23%. Good Boys, he was a producer on. That seemed to do okay. The Lion King, the voice of Pumbaa, did okay with fans, but a 52% with critics. Like Father, 47%, 51% for blockers from fans. Critics said it was funny, but Game Over scored a whopping 18%, even only a 46% with fans. Seth Rogen's Hilarity for Charity, not a single professional reviewer, but fans gave it a 16%. Sausage Party, 50% from fans, I think, is way overrated. That movie was garbage and the only movie I ever walked out of in my entire life. Neighbors 2, 44%. F for Franco got a 0%. Being Canadian got a 47%. So Seth Rogen, Guilt Trip, 39%, 37%. Like, how does this dude keep getting work? He has a list longer than anyone I can imagine in movies where his average tomato score is like probably in the 40s, probably in the 50s. The guy hasn't been a part of much relevant, maybe Superbad a million years ago. That was pretty funny, but he wasn't really a main character in that. Pineapple Express is probably his biggest claim to fame, and it didn't age very well, sitting at a 73 to 68%. Not too bad, I guess. Again, a tiny role in Step Brothers. He's had a lot of tiny roles and stuff that did good, but most of the stuff he did, Knocked Up was pretty good too. Shrek the Third was a voice in that, 41%, 52%. So, we go all the way back to the 40-Year-Old Virgin, which was in 2005, 17 years ago. That's probably the last thing that was universally positive that he was a part of. And over the years also, he's had quite the thread. Insane Seth Rogen tweets, a thread. This is by Kunli_Drukpa. Shout out to them. Hollywood comedian and famous stoner Seth Rogen is a pretty outspoken, and unhinged guy on Twitter. This is a compilation thread of some of his most insane tweets. Let's take a look at some of them. Hello, Seth Rogen bullies a child. Somebody writes, I'm not even old enough to vote, but for all of those who are, please go out and vote. Every vote is important. May the best candidate win. I don't really know why that would be a bad thing to say, right? Holy smokes, dude, you're such an effing loser. Grow the F up. Don't effing enable fascists with this kind of weak stuff, kid. I'm watching you. What? Seth Rogen, again, this is one of the best. Explains that it's totally normal to regularly have your car broken into. Dude, I've lived here for over 20 years. You're nuts. It's level here. Don't leave anything valuable in your car. It's called living in a big city. Casey says, I can still be mad, though. Feel so violated. Seth Rogen writes, you can be mad, I guess. I don't personally view my car as an extension of myself, and I've never really felt violated of any of the 15 or so times my car was broken into. Once a guy accidentally left a cool knife. So if it keeps happening, you might get a little treat. One of the most ridiculous, out-of-touch takes that he's ever had. Yeah, it's really easy when you're worth $10 million to not care about replacing a window. But for a lot of us, $175 on a broken window is a big deal. Then, of course, his bizarre Santa Inc. tweet. We really pissed off tens of thousands of supremacists with our new show, Santa Inc., which is now available on HBO Max. Hey, white people, a Jewish guy is playing effing Santa Claus, and there's nothing you can do about it. We're stealing Christmas. F y'all. Tee. Again, that movie got a 4%. Ted Cruz called Seth a Marxist with Tourette's, and Seth explains that he is actually a Marxist with Tourette's. Seth quotes, as somebody who has Tourette's in their family, and also a very mild case himself, I once again take great pleasure in telling you to go F yourself. Also, very few cases of Tourette's manifest in uncontrollable swearing. Most cases like mine manifest in twitching. After Ted Cruz says, even though you behave like a Marxist with Tourette's screaming F you, F you, F you, it's really clever. Your movies are typically pretty funny. I'm sure you hate that I enjoy them, is what Ted Cruz said. And Seth Rogen replies, you're an effing fascist, shut up and go away. How about Seth Rogen's weird outburst against J.K. Rowling? J.K. Rowling writes, dress however you like, call yourself whatever you like, sleep with any consenting adult who will have you, live your best life with peace and security, but force women out of their jobs for stating that biology is real? ? Seth Rogen replies, how do I push you off a cliff and you Wingardium D's nuts before you hit the ground? Effing transphobe. What? He's an actual lunatic. I don't really know, what else to say about it. He's like an actual lunatic. I don't know if it's the years of being a failure. I guess he has lots of money, so you can't totally call him a failure. Seth Rogen sometimes gets so angry on Twitter that he starts twitching so much that he can't even stand. I don't like to beef publicly on Twitter, but if I see you starting S, I'm going to come up in your face. Literally, some of the stuff you MFs post get me so angry, and with my Tourette's, he loves, yeah, of course, yes. Let me, you're trying to put yourself on the victimhood stack there. Are you protecting class, Seth? It really makes it difficult to control. Like, I'm shaking so much I can't even stand. Okay. How about this one? Seth Rogen needs to smoke, otherwise he can't control his bowels. Really hate losers replying to me with, all your movies are about smoking. Yeah, bro. What else would they be about? It's the civil rights issue of our time. No, it isn't. I'm basically disabled without it because of all my medical issues. Like to the extent that I have trouble with bowel control. I don't believe you. I 100% don't believe you. By the way, really nobody's against medical use. Seth Rogen complains about a rash he got from eating a chicken burger. Chick-fil-A. This summer, why not come out and try a new smokehouse barbecue chicken? Hey, F-faces, maybe you should go be more effing explicit that your product gives people allergies, rashes. Don't say on the packaging, you homophobic S-heads. I can afford the treatment cream, but lots of black families can't because they don't have medical care. What? What? If they're so phobic, Seth, why are you buying their chicken sandwiches anyway? Seth picks a fight with a Gino Carano actress. Shut your mouth, you fascist F. 7 million Jews. Yeah. What's your problem? Okay. Seth, I love your movies, she replies. And I really don't want to get into an argument about this, but it was 6 million. I don't know why you're exaggerating. Please stop. I'm not trying to make a political point. I just don't understand why you say these things. You're a piece of ass. It was 7 million. And no, I'm not going to drop this. I will end your career. Okay. Seth Rogen tells Tulsi Gabbard that he will drive to Hawaii to fight her. Hey, asshead, I will effing fight you. He would lose that fight. I'm literally driving to where you live right now. Time's up, loser. You were a good politician once, but time's F, loser. Or time's up. You completely sold out on the right. This is a last straw. After you made fun of me for the way I smell. For the way I smell. That's an awful way to speak to someone, Seth. And I live in Hawaii, so I don't know exactly how you're going to drive here from California. I also never made fun of you for the way you smell. That wasn't even me. Ah, you're a comedian now. Real funny. I'm effing laughing. Ah, ho, ho, hee, hee. Don't quit your day job because I'm the actual comedian here. Check your DMs, B. Let's settle it there. What? Herb culture goes too far even for Snoop Dogg. Samantha Christie writes, I don't know. I know this isn't a popular position, but I'm worried about addiction in our teenagers. Part of the catalyst for my son's spiral was his use of the herb. When I found him in his apartment, it was full of the herb he had developed an addiction to. So Seth Rogen writes, are you Jewish? No. Then lick my pasty Jewish N-word. Huh? N-word, smoke herb every day, blaze it up, smoke. To which Snoop Dogg replies, N-word, the woman's son is dead. He received 217,000 retweets and just 3,000 likes. Snoop Dogg getting 357,000. Excuse me, 357,000 likes. I mean, the list goes on and 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 on. Of course, his best is when he DMs people and asks if they're Jewish. This guy is an absolute loser lunatic. I hope you enjoyed that video. We'll talk to you again real soon.